guys, this is Hyperion-Blue-GT. It's time to get ready to go for another round on the Tokyo Expressway East Outer Loop on the rainy day race on Gran Turismo Sport. So this is going to be able to go again for a different Group 3 car for today. So looks like this is going to be able to go and choose the Chevy Corvette C7 Group 3 with my very own library design. So this is going to be able to get started. We'll also to change the balance of performance. We'll might be able to do plenty of adjustment. Will work perfectly. We'll might get started. So hope this is going to be able to go again for another round of the race. So before enjoying watching the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check out some more videos if you like. Feel free to enjoy anytime you want for one good entertainment. We'll always to be able to continue, so let's get started. This is going to be able to do perfectly to be able to have a one rainy day race might be able to begin. So this is going to be able to take plenty of stabilizing balance work that we might be able to maintain. So we might be able to do for a lot of racing strategy that we might be able to try to do our best. So let's just going to go and get ready. So we are good to go to be able to have to make sure, because heavy wet tires is now going to be in for currently use. So this is going to be quite very good to be able to go with a front engine rear car. So mid-engine race car are definitely might be doing good to be able to have best recommend. So everything's all set, just going to be able to have TCS1 in active use. So let's just going to go and get ready to be able to take for one warm-up to be able to go in. So it looks like this is going to be able to go in by using the intermediate tires. So let's just going to be able to do well. So hope this is going to be able to have to take for one survival race, that this is going to get everything in to be prepared for this one, folks. Because it always gets a lot of wet road out there because we have to be able to keep it maintained. So it might be able to falling up on the meter signs. It definitely might be able to go on the approaching positions. It's going to get everything in. So it's going to be able to keep it well maintained. The throttle is going to get everything in. Now it's going to get very slippery out there. It's just going to be able to take plenty of turns that this is going to need able to use besides throttling and braking. So we are good to go for a warm-up, and then this is going to get everything will begin. So we will always take 8 laps every time in the race for this segment. So this is going to get everything will be prepared. So let's just going to give the driver rating D drivers are now going to get everything will be started. So here we go. This is going to be a very challenging race, folks, because this is going to be able to take a lot of speed and more handling on the track. Is going to get everything will be prepared. So let's go for it. We're all good to go to be able to be ready for this race. So this is going to be able to start out on 8th place by taking the rolling start. We'll begin. Now everything is all set in formation, so this is going to be doing good. So hope this is going to be able to take a lot of grip work, that this is going to get everything will begin. So right now this is going to be able to have for the second time in the race for this segment, and then this is going to be able to do a lot of distance. We might be able to go in there. So it's just going to go and catch up to the other current drivers to be on the top position. So this is going to be able to do excellent, that this is going to need to do a lot of work. But it is going to be able to get very slippery out there, so we might be able to avoid getting hit by the walls or getting a little bit contact by colliding the car. Is going to be very tougher it gets. So this is going to need to take everything for only first turn by the slowdown. So just going to be able to keep it well management, that this is going to be able to stay on it. Keep it nice and slow, folks, because it's going to get very wet out there. Well, unfortunately, this is going to be quite very usual ways to be able to see it. So we might be able to take for only one common reason, that this is going to be able to take for one recent survival goal tip, that this is going to get everything has to do it. Now this is going to be able to go correctly, that this is going to be able to take a lot of good skills. If you already did taking a lot of basics on how to race on a rainy day track, is going to be quite giving you a heads up tip that this will might be able to help you to learn to understand the skills of a rainy day race. But this is going to be able to do, everything has to be able to be very exercise caution during this time of the race, because walls might be able to get ourselves to be hit. We might be able to have a receive penalty for only 5 seconds. So this is going to be able to make sure, because this will might be able to help out if you really want to keep up your driver rating. Needs to be well maintained intact. It's going to be able to go there. Now let's just going to be able to go and make it slow down at the final turn. This is going to be able to take it nice and slow and steady, and then it's going to be able to make sure we accelerate it by giving one helpful boost whenever you're going to use the TCS1 in case. Well, looks like that was definitely might be pretty lucky to do it. Okay, looks like one driver with a Ford GTL Spec 2 race car livery takes 4th place. Now it's going to be pretty tougher again to do it. So this is going to need to take a little bit less long if we had to be able to do for one successful run moment, if we had to be able to keep it going. Now it's just going to move on and press forward, because this is going to be able to take for only 6 more to go. Currently on into the 2nd lap. Now this is going to need to take that draft wheel, might be able to go in, and then it's going to be able to make one early braking point. It's going to be able to go as possible. So that will be the safest ways to be able to make the inside turns, to be able to go in as settled. But if possible, that highly skilled drivers can, with using the raining expert skills, could probably able to take it, because basic driver skills on the rainy day track is going to be quite very basic beginner's luck, that this is going to get everything going. So in that case, that this is going to be able to have a handbook about rainy day racing, is going to be able to take a lot of how-to guide tips, is going to be able to go in. So it's definitely might be able to help out folks, because it will might be able to give one good basic notice by any other tips, that this is going to be able to keep up with a good racing strategy. So this is definitely might be able to start out on chapter 2 on how to race on a rainy day track, is on the city course. So this is definitely might be very good to be able to take for one good racing manual tips, that this is going to get everything has to be started for. Now everything is going to be able to have a one topic moment, that this is going to be able to have a one important guide tips, that if this is going to be able to go in, just going to be able to make sure that try not to do any full contact when we're on the rainy day race. It's going to be able to help out importantly if we had to do it. Just going to be able to take that slow position at the inside. So it looks like just saw Elect 42BB just took the outside turn. So hope he's doing okay to be able to learn the skills of a rainy day race, because this will might be able to make us as the students, and the track course is going to be the teacher. So it definitely might be quite very basic to be able to do for one education tip, because it will might be able to help out for this one, folks. It's all about learning. If we have to be able to race on the track with a wet condition, it's going to be able to do a lot of skills. If we have to be able to keep up for one good balance properly of this race, we might be able to help out. Now it looks like just going to be able to go back onto the first turn, so this is going to be able to go in by the early first turn, is going to get everything in. Hope this is going to be able to do properly, that this is going to be able to avoid getting slammed onto the walls. That's going to be able to take a lot of easy important tips, that this is going to be able to work well. Just going to be able to make sure that the curves are definitely might be very advanced technique, that this is going to be able to go faster to be able to make it one good maintained position. We'll also keep a good eyes on the mileage on the throttle. And that turn is going to be a one impact position, so we have to be able to dodge it to find a good braking spot position. Is going to be able to go in and re-accelerate again, so that will might help out easily, that this is going to be able to keep up for one good stabilized balance, so without losing a grip, to be able to prevent a spin out, that this is going to be able to occur by having an error. So it will might help folks because it's going to be able to do a lot of learning skills that this is going to be able to help us to be able to have a one good raining day technique. We'll might be able to do performance. We'll also to take the good skills. So we're the precision drivers and the rainy day track is the challenge. So we have to be able to get ready to do all this. So it will might help. So we will might be able to do the best to become rainy day racers, to become the masters, who also to be able to take on the wet course track. So just going to be able to make sure after the turn, try not to lose the balance because that will might be very easily to be able to get. So looks like Dog Taco 126 is definitely might be doing okay. Hope he's definitely might be able to take a lot of good pressure on for taking a lot of rainy day rush to be able to go there. Now this is going to be able to press on onto the fourth lap. It's going to be on the halfway mark. This is going to be able to do excellent. We might be able to go in. Just going to be able to make one good push to be able to go in by the slipping on the track. Just going to be able to make one good approach to be able to get back in onto the first turn. So it will might be able to go basic ways to be able to do it. Okay, looks like Dog Taco 126 did pretty good. That will might be able to help out that this is going to be able to do a lot of basic skills to be able to have a racing PSA. Will also to help out to do everything for having a one tough rainy day track that this is going to be able to do it. Now this is going to be able to take a lot of possible grip that this is going to be able to go in. So I'll let him proceed on to 5th place. So this is definitely might be able to help out because taking a lot of rainy wet overtake is going to be a very hard thing to do. So it will might be able to take a lot of good pressure to be able to have enough speed to be able to overtake the opponent. So it will might be able to do possibilities that this is going to be able to take efforts will might be able to go in. So it is definitely might be quite very good to be able to have a lot of good practice to be able to take on the rainy day track. Good thing that Gr.3 Digital always did a lot of excellent work well done to be able to have plenty of good variations on good conditions on every track. So it is definitely might be very remarkable. So we will might be able to do a lot of practice. So we will always to be able to learn. Now just going to be able to make sure that this is going to be able to do a lot of slow turns, that this is going to be able to be re-accelerated. So it will might be able to stay on straight, that this is going to be able to reach up by the gears. Will also to prevent one good boost, will might be able to give the effect, will might be able to stay on track to go in. But gap distance might becomes in matters because it will might be able to take a lot of patient work. So if we have to be able to make sure, because whenever you're going for the first place, take the challenge. So be prepared yourself because it's going to get everything a lot of long day of racing. We might be able to go in. Now this is going to be able to take a lot of few chances to be able to take one good practice moment on the straight. It's going to be able to head back over to the expressway curve. It's going to be quite very tricky to be able to do it. So this is going to be able to take for only one next basic step, that this is going to be able to go in. Taking an expressway curves without spin out is going to be quite very important to get. So whenever you're trying to catch up the opponent by taking a few gap distance up ahead, it's quite possible to perform the inside, but it is going to be able to take a lot of work to be able to take unusual skills, but it is going to be able to come up very differently, that this is going to be able to do plenty of strategies, that this is going to be able to take a lot of running skills for taking the time. But it will might help, but it will might be able to have two racing rain tires will might be able to work properly on the track. So it will might be able to give plenty of intimidated grip, and heavy wet tires is definitely might be able to do a lot of work to be able to go in. It's one strategy tip is going to be very important to do everything to be able to do a lot of wet run is going to be able to do it. But sometimes catching up to the opponent is going to be a long way, so just going to be able to make sure, just going to be able to do plenty of early braking points by the quick. It's going to be able to do much possible to be able to take a lot of patience. We might be able to do well because it's going to be able to take longer. It takes that this is going to need to do plenty of it. So it's going to be able to take a lot of balance that this is going to get everything going in for taking a lot of sportsmanship rating will also do the chances. Well, luckily that the other drivers just got plenty of penalties because they still trying to learn because it's going to be very slippery out there. So if we have to be able to make sure that this is going to be able to do a lot of well-managing grip, that this is going to be able to keep up to maintain on this race. So experts did pretty well by using the Pagani Sonda R from the GT World Tour in Salzburg in the Red Bull Hangar 6, and it is pretty excellent to see how fast these GT players can go because it takes plenty of strategies that this is going to be able to master the rainy day track on Tokyo Expressway East. Is pretty awesome and pretty epic to be able to take a lot of good skills that they might be able to perform. So we might be able to do the best we can because this is going to be quite very good basic skills that this is going to need to take. So it might be able to help out to be able to do plenty of strategy tips that this is going to be able to make one good entertainment segment, that this is all about having a learning experience, that this is going to be able to be very prepared to do it. So it looks like 2 more laps remaining. That might be quite very good to be able to take a little bit longer. It takes that this is going to need to take a lot of running skills. We might be able to go in. Now, looks like another opponent is coming in from behind, so this is going to be quite very possible to be able to take a lot of focus that this is going to need to take. So it might be able to do one fastest tip strategy that this is going to need to catch up. Dealing with the opponent on the rainy day track, it's a very challenging ways for us since we race on the dry condition. So this is going to be able to be prepared for one wet condition. It's going to be very challenging to be able to be one tricky situation. It's going to be able to go all the way in. Now let's just going to try and keep up, and this is going to be able to take a lot of skills. We might be able to go in from passive to aggressive. Taking the passive skill of racing on the rainy day track is definitely might be able to provide a clean turn with an excellent skills. By going aggressive, it's going to be a very challenging ways to see how any other drivers can probably be able to take the rainy day track by taking a risk. So it's definitely might be quite very possible to be able to take a lot of usual skills. So just going to be able to go maintain is going to be the only option that this one might be able to help. So it's going to be able to do the usual skills by taking a lot of skills that this is going to need to go in, because it's going to be able to keep it well managed, but keep a good eye on the radar whenever you see it, so it might be able to have an opponent that might be easily to be able to overtake. So looks like there's year 0 high over there passing me on my current position. So this is going to be able to give it one good basic example. Will might be able to go in. So it might be able to catch up because it's going to be a very strong way to be able to do it. But be careful because it gets a lot of obstacles. So we have to be very careful not to slam in onto the walls because it's going to be a very hit hard. Will might be able to get a 5-second penalty for taking a lot of collision occur. So we have to be able to make sure, because this is going to be able to take a one clean race on the wet condition. It's going to be very possible to be able to do it because it takes a lot of strong strategies if you really want to keep up, because it takes catching up strategy is going to be very important. So it might be able to have plenty of gap distance to be able to check it in onto the left of the HUD. That also shows when the number of position is definitely might be shown. So it's going to be quite very possible to be able to catch up because it's going to be able to take a lot of usual skills. We might be able to go in. Now it's going to be quite very possible that this is going to be able to take passive to aggressive drivers. Is going to be able to go all the way in. So be sure that the TCS1 is still active in use. So make sure, try to be careful to loosen up on the grip when you're using on the TCS Hero. That will might have a one handling skill situation is going to be quite giving a little bit issue, but it will might be able to give a one guide tip is going to be able to go there. So here we go. We're now moving on into the final lap of the race. This is going to be quite very excellent to be able to take a lot of good demonstration basic skills, and this time it's going to be able to take a lot of rush to be able to catch up. So it will might be able to help out for taking a one good segment video to be able to have a learning tips that this is going to be able to go in. So good thing that this is going to be able to caught up on it. So this is going to be quite very good to be able to take more segment videos that this is going to be able to have more until at the end of the journey. So we will always to keep on racing. We'll always to stay cool and stay driving on the wet is going to be able to do everything we can. So it will might be able to do successfully that this is going to get everything has to get going. But we will continue racing, folks, because it is going to be a very excellent racing experience. We'll always do the best we can. So it's going to be able to do perfectly. We might be able to get there. It is all about the skills of a racing to take on the rainy day course. It will might be able to take a lot of usual chance to be able to go in by the skills. So it's going to get very excellent that this is going to get everything going in. So right now, just going to be able to press on to the finish line. So we are almost there because this is going to be able to get a little bit more time that this is going to be able to keep dropping in some water is going to be able to go there. Now it's going to be quite very excellent that this is going to be able to take a lot of journey to be able to go in, because it will always continuing on to be able to do excellent to be able to take a lot of rainy day skills. It's going to be able to go in, but it is going to be fun to be able to enjoy the racing moment. It's going to be able to press on, but it's going to be quite very skillful, so we have to be able to use it wisely if we can, because it's going to be able to take a long way to the skills of racing is going to be able to go in. Now going in to take the final stretch, it's going to be able to go in as possible. So this is going to be able to take the 6th place finish, so that was definitely might be pretty good and pretty excellent. So that wasn't so bad to be able to use a front engine Group 3 car, so it's definitely might be quite very good to be able to have a one good race without a penalty on it. So this is definitely might be able to do a lot of racing skills to be able to go in. Once we start out, we're taking a new racing beginnings, and now we will always be able to continuing on to make some new set of the challenges and new skills, and even conditions on every track is going to be quite very excellent to do it. So good thing finally finishing up in 6th place. So that was a lot of good skills that this is going to be able to do a lot of progress to be able to keep up on a rainy day race. So good race position by 2. So it is going to be quite very good to see it. So it takes a lot of effort that this is going to be able to take a lot of practice whenever you guys really want to do it. It takes learning on the rainy day track is going to be very important to do a lot of skills whenever you can. So that was a pretty good sportsmanship rating increase. So this is definitely might be all about taking the learning skills of a Group 3 race to take on in a rainy day track. It's going to be quite very challenging for us, so we might be able to be prepared. So do the best you can. We just really want to see some good progress out there, because it will might take some practice before we will get started to do the real thing to be able to race on the rainy day track, because it's going to be able to do a lot of skills. We'll be able to do the best. We'll always to keep up and do the best. Sportsmanship rating will always go up. So folks, this is going to be a one good excellent learning tips that this is going to be able to race on the rainy day track on Tokyo Expressway East. So 2 drivetrains by having a Group 3 category is going to be quite giving the difference that might be worked very properly, that this is going to be able to do the best whenever we can. So it takes a lot of usual skills to be able to take 50% of a balance opportunity to be able to go fast and strong handling, it's going to be able to do much better. That this is going to be able to do the best option. So we will always continuing on for the best race we will always have. Alright folks, glad that you really enjoyed this race. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and bell for notification uploads, and the links on the description down below if you want to see more. I'll be see you guys next time for continuing on the daily race on Gran Turismo Sports, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay cool.